the heart of Houston. It's fun. It's engaging. It's Chattin' with Chelsea. She's daytime's new bestie. Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards. Come back to me.
All right. Welcome to another Chat with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. We got a lot of feminine energy and a lot of love happening in the building today. A lot of we're so excited for this episode. Let me tell you why. A few weeks ago, we did an episode on women submitting to men, and we got such a response. A lot of people saying, that was a good show. So we had to do a follow-up. Now, this is a trending topic we're seeing all over the place. A lot of men saying this, submitting to me, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. But we also have a lot of women saying, hey, that's what I'm already ready to do. And then we have some women saying, if I'm submitting, then check my pulse because I must not have one. So the original episode that we did, we had two guys on from Dove's Restaurant. They're the owners, Sam and Fred. They gave their opinion. We actually got the guys' perspective. This is what they had to say.
Men should gravitate to women who have something of their own and who have substance and bring to the table some type of value. That's what I love about my wife. All I do as her husband is add value to what she already has.
But is she submissive?
My wife is very submissive to me.
I don't know if I necessarily look for it, but it's some quality that I must have, right? And sometimes when people look at submission, they think of something like a ruler, right?
Right.
I don't want to rule anybody. I want to tell anybody what to do.
You just heard from Fred, who is married, and Sam, who is single. So we brought in two ladies. We've got Chelsea, who is single, and Christina, who is married. Let's start with this. What does submitting actually mean to y'all?
I guess I'll go first. So I actually was brought up just culturally, like you have to, they actually have a saying that's like, be submissive and be obedient. They even go the extra step. And I feel like I really resonate with that now, but a lot of things have to happen before you really can. But for me personally, I think you should absolutely submit and be obedient to an extent.
To an extent. Okay, what are some of those things that have to happen, though? I'm curious.
I guess a lot of trust, right? So like in the big picture, you have to be submissive. For me, mostly in the big stuff. So I would say like finances, or if we're gonna move, like deciding to move to Texas was a choice that he made and I followed, right?
Ah, okay.
So the big stuff, but to an extent for me would be, like I wouldn't change the way that I dress because I want to dress a certain way. And if I was with a guy who didn't let me, then that would be an issue. But in the big picture, I'm totally okay to give him the lead and in the big stuff, not the micro.
Okay, so there are different things that you are willing to submit, and others you're like, this is just part of who I am.
Part of who I am.
Okay, yeah. Chelsea, what have you seen out here in the dating streets? And what does submission mean to you based on that?
Well, I'll piggyback on what you said about trust. I think trust is extremely important, but I also, for me, just because of my personal values, trust means, well, submission means that you are submitting to a higher power. So I can't really trust myself to trust you if I believe that you think that just in your own finite carnal mind, you've got all the answers, all the wisdom. But if I can see that you are trusting in a higher power and that you are seeking wisdom from even peers or elders, then that gives me the confidence to feel like, okay, I can trust you and I can allow myself to submit to you, because I think that submission is humility. And I think it takes a lot of courage for today's woman to put all of their power in a man's hand. And I think it's it's a privilege to have someone submit to you. So I'm looking for the man that can show me that he's worth it and that is willing to earn that.
Okay, so as you're dating, and men might say they're looking for that woman to submit, you want that man to already have submitted to higher powers than God.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, are there benefits to submitting?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we got some eyebrows. Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, tell me about those.
Well, I love what you said about the higher power and like also the wisdom of people older than you and just results that they have had. So like for us, we can seek our parents' advice or the people that came before us that it did work out for them. So you kind of have those receipts.
Okay.
That it has worked in the past. And the trust thing, like it literally goes always back to the trust thing. when you're dating, a lot of the guys will like pound on their chest, like respect me, submit to me, but like there's no evidence that we can do that. So we're gonna be standoffish. So even being, like I've been married for 4 years, but the submission really started happening like when we started getting more serious, that he was willing to value like traditions, or willing to go out on a limb himself to offer me a certain amount of things before I can be like, okay, it looks like you're actually invested and I can actually trust you to move forward and guide us together to do better things as one.
Are there a number of things that you feel are taken off your plate if you submit?
Yeah, I think definitely all the heavy lifting, you know, of the decision making. Literally and figuratively, right? Right, you know? I definitely look forward to, you know, I'm single, so whenever it happens, I look forward to having a partner that I can confer with when it comes to, you know, making really big decisions, and I don't have to, you know, do it all myself. I feel like, you know, being independent, it's a badge of honor that we wear to some degree, but I'm ready to rest in my femininity, you know? I want to, like, rest in my more nurturing, and I want to get out of the, like, action, strategy. Like, I'm doing that at work, you know? Like, if I have a partner that I trust, then I can defer to him, and I'll trust that he will want to know what my opinion is, and he will, you know, hear me and listen if I choose to dissent, and then we can have a compromise and we can have a conversation about which way to go.
Okay, all right. I hope y'all heard all that. You got two single Chelseas who getting tired of making decisions. Okay. So what does it look like? You touched on this a little bit, Christina, when the submitting is not right or it's going wrong. Have either of you been in that situation, seen red flags, warning signs of that?
Yes, absolutely. That's why it didn't lead to marriage. Because it's like I have to first see that you have capability of doing this. It always failed until it didn't.
Okay.
The one time.
What's an example of that? Like, you know, maybe not literally beating on the chest, but, you know, what is happening?
I think a lot of the times, especially like in today's world, like the whole like splitting of the checks, the whole like they expect more, I think, from women now without willing to give us anything to lift off our shoulders. So I think that in my perspective, I feel like if you're not going to make my life easier, why should I make your life easier?
Ha! Ooh, I am not mad about that. Okay. Chelsea, is that a red flag for you if someone says, we going 50-50 on this check? Is that a sign that you cannot be submissive to that?
It's definitely a red flag, but I like to look at the gentleman panoptically. So I'm assessing all areas of your life. If you would like for me to submit to you, then I'm looking for the fruit. You know, there should be fruit in various areas of your life that I can see with my eyes and say, okay, this makes sense. Like, you've made some good decisions along the way. You have obviously sowed some good seeds, and now you have the fruit to show for it. So if you are not quite there yet, but you're asking me to submit to you, then I'm going to have some questions. And I'm going to wonder, how can you lead me and where are you going to lead me to? If you haven't led yourself somewhere fruitful.
Yes, yes. Please do not lead me off a cliff.
That's right, yeah.
Like, I'm good solo then. All right, ladies, loving this conversation.
Yes.
Up next, we got to bring our relationship and intimacy expert, Dr. Viviana Coles, in for part 2 of submission. Be right back. Continuing our conversation of women submitting to men. What does that mean? What does it look like? I told you it's a lot of feminine energy in here. So joining our gaggle of girlies, we got Dr. Viviana Coles, our intimacy and relationship expert. Thank you for coming again for part 2. And we also have Christina, who's been married more than 4 years, and Chelsea, who is single, looking for a man to submit to properly, Dr. V. So Chelsea was mentioning that she needs to know where this guy is leading her. So there are contingencies to her submitting. Is that in line as far as what you see in healthy relationships?
In healthy relationships, I think a proven track record of being confident, competent, a leader that is not dismissive, right? I mean, submissive and dismissive are totally different things. So I think it's so important for these these men especially who are being placed on this pedestal to have earned it.
Yeah.
And not just for your sake, right? Not just for the person who's experiencing the submissive side of things, but because we want them to feel comfortable. We want them to feel like, ooh, this fits for us, because that turns into something more long term.
Yeah, so we got a lot of men who want to be put on that pedestal, as you mentioned, but when it comes to being dismissive, we want to be clear about what that looks like.
Yeah, I think for a lot of men that I see in my office at Houston Relationship Therapy, when it doesn't work, it's because they're feeling like it's not just coming with responsibility, but it's coming with a lot of pressure to have all the answers, to be like, yes, this is what we should do. But then guess what? If it doesn't work out well, which life be lifin', they don't want to necessarily take on all of the responsibility and blame.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resentment that can come from, I trusted you to make these decisions for us, and you dropped the ball.
From the other perspective, it could be a lot of responsibility that guys don't necessarily want.
Or think they want, but don't necessarily know what to do when it doesn't work out well. Of course, just like with anything, when it's working well, great. Those are the people that aren't in my office. It's when it's not working out well that people really say, like, okay, what can we tweak here? And if you're in that dynamic of being in a submissive relationship like that, there may not feel like a lot of options.
Christina, is that something that you and your husband discuss or battle with when it comes to that responsibility?
I'm sure that they have a lot of pressure. Like, so for example, he talked about this recent incident that happened with his sister and his brother-in-law, and I thought, oh my goodness, imagine how Sean felt when they lost control of the car, and luckily everything was good, and he saved his family, and that just came, and it's like that pressure that a man holds for his family, for their well-being, for their finances. So I can't imagine the pressure that they feel. But also as a woman, I feel like there should be some understanding, hopefully there is, that when life happens, you won't blame them. Things happen, and you move forward together. So the pressure is going to be there. That's the lovely thing for us, that pressure comes off of us, right?
Dr. V, what does that look like when a wife or a woman is, something goes wrong, but they're not necessarily blaming, but they want to have a conversation about what went wrong?
I think that can look like basically saying, hey, what can we learn from this situation? Not what can you learn, right? Because there's an inherent blame in that. But there are definitely ways that are healthier to talk about these things, and always offering up ideas about, what can I do to support is better than saying, I would have done it this way, or I knew this other husband who did it this way, or,
Wow.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Cynthia doesn't have to deal with that.
Don't do that.
Hey, Chelsea, is there anything that Dr. B can help you with as you're looking for that man you can submit to?
Well, first, I'd like to clarify, I'm not looking.
Okay, all right. Oh,
I'm in my feminine energy.
Yes,
so
okay.
He who finds a wife.
I love that. I love it. You were attracting,
yes, we are attracting. However, I am curious for a single woman who is looking for a man that she can submit to. At what point within the relationship or within the engagement of the courtship dating process should she be able to exhibit qualities of being able to submit?
Is it a timeline? Are there signals?
So as kind of a rule, I like to tell people that a real commitment like engagement or even a wedding should probably not happen for at least a year, because that gives you an opportunity to see them and to see yourselves in all seasons, right? Literally and figuratively. And so track record, again, you just have to go back to, have I seen what I need to see to feel like, you know what, this is it for me. And for a lot of people who aren't into submission and submissiveness in marriages, they might see that as like, can I be exclusive with you? But for others, it might be more like, okay, can I even just let you take the wheel? Like, can I do that? And I think usually about a year. Now, if it's something that's part of your religion, it's something that is going to have to be a part of it, then that would be something that I would say share within the first 3 months, just because if it's totally against whatever their vision of marriage is, don't waste your time and don't waste theirs.
If we're ready to submit, do we need to have a conversation, or is it just action? Just start submitting.
You have to take into account whether your partner thrives by like knowing the map and the journey and knowing the path. But if they're the kind of person that is like, look, anytime you tell me, hey, you have a doctor's appointment next Thursday, and they're just nervous about it for the rest of the week, then no, you don't need to have that conversation. You already know that you're going to be together. You are bringing up this feminine energy, as you call it, that is going to be there regardless. Let's just see how they handle it. Just, what is it, like on Schitt's Creek, MYOA was folding it in. Fold in the submissiveness. You don't have to spell it out, just fold it in.
All right, well, thank you for that guidance. Okay, girls, thank you for joining us for this conversation, giving all the perspectives. Okay, so now that we had that very meaty discussion, I had a little bit of a sweet tooth. So coming up after this break, we got some cookies that your significant other will really enjoy, whether you're submitting or not, okay? We'll be back. Wednesday, we have a way to win over your sweetie if they have a sweet tooth. We got MYOA's cookies in the building. I mean, the presentation is beautiful. I would even say sexy.
Yes,
These
absolutely.
are excellent cookies.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so what was the inspiration behind really elevating this look?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, my favorite color is coral. And I think coral brings brightness. It means bold. You know, you want to feel loved. And then, you know, my slogan is really, my mission is to spread love, one cookie at a time. So when I was thinking about my rebranding, I wanted someone to think luxury, premium gifting. You know, when you get a box of chocolate or flowers, I want you to have that same feeling with cookies. So I thought a nice, bold color, high premium quality, and just make it feel good, like a gift.
Yes, it really does look like a gift. Okay, so I'm gonna unbox.
Yes,
I get to unbox.
You unbox
yes,
it. One,
let's
two,
do
three.
it.
Woo!
Nice and sexy. Okay.
I love it. And then,
let's
you know,
check them
you open
out.
up.
Ooh, like this would definitely be a wonderful gift for your date or your sweetheart. Okay, I am absolutely in love with this. Tell us about some of these flavors.
So, well, you get a card from me to say thank you for purchasing this. And this is one of our dozen box cookies, and it just has a couple of varieties. You know, we have our chocolate chunk. I call it that chocolate chunk with some sea salt in it. We have matcha. We have strawberry. All my ingredients are organic and premium. Like, I use high quality ingredients, and they have a purpose, every single thing. I'm talking about the salt, even the vanilla extract comes from a part of Africa, everything. We have a gooey marshmallow, we have a confetti, we have a lava eclair. Ooh. All the names are all on my website. I mean, they have a meaning to it because there's a journey from like where it started from to turn into cookies.
Oh,
it's a lot.
All of these look good, but I am drawn to the marshmallow, so I'm gonna grab this one. You gotta grab one too, MYOA. Okay, so you are also a single mom of a 3-year-old like myself, so I know this is a crazy stage.
He always wants to, Mama's cookies. I'm like, no, not yet. Yeah.
You cannot have any more cookies. You were already hype enough, right?
Absolutely,
and we've been talking about submitting this episode, this Relationship Wednesday. What is your take on that as we dig into our cookies?
Well, lately I've been submitting to this journey, my cookies, but as far as relationship, I think that if you find somebody that shows you that they value you and they show you that respect, I think it makes it easy for you to submit. You know, I'm Nigerian and I grew up that way, understanding that you can submit or you should submit if the man obviously also shows you that he has that value, you know, to be respected. So I think respect makes it easy to submit.
Do you see a difference when it comes to Nigerian culture and American culture when it comes to submitting?
Yes, there is cultural differences, but I think that at the end of the day, men have the same sort of things that is built in them, just like women. So regardless of what the culture is, you know, but I think it's usually the same. But I would say personally, me personally, I just think if the man shows you respect and shows you that he values you, it's easier to submit. You know.
I love that. Okay. Which cookie should I get into next? That was delicious.
Let's see. Maybe, do you like red velvet? That one has some crystal, ice, and sugar in it. Are you a red velvet kind of person?
I am a red velvet gal indeed.
I like this one because he has like that little surprise.
Yes. Okay. And not to get you to talk with your mouth full, but we got to talk about your music because you also do some music. I don't know how you do it all? Motherhood and cookies and music.
I really started up with music. That's how I started this journey. I have a band. I've been performing for years, you know, right from when I left England. I moved to America, went to music school, studied music, but I knew there was more to it. And I also had, I would take cookies for like shows when I was performing, and my band members loved it. And my best friend who would perform on stage with me was a huge fan of my cookies, but she passed away. And that's really what propelled me to take that music journey and take it onto cookies and spread love, because she ate them when she was really happy.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of the transition. But yes, I have a band here. I perform. I've got music. I direct my own music too, my music videos. And that's why I put that same energy into my cookies. I want people to really have good cookies, feel loved, you know, gift your cookies, just have a good journey. Like, it's all about how can you make someone else feel loved.
Yes, so, I love you were spreading love and joy
one
with
cookie at a time.
Cookies and music.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I got some more cookies to get into, and
yes.
There's a lot to do here. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll be back with our final takeaways.
Hey besties, you ready for a magical night with Boyz II Men, Robin Thicke, and 112? Listen to the Mad Hatter Show on Magic 102.1 and call in with the keyword of the day for a chance to score tickets. Good luck, besties.
I finally got all the cookie off my face. So I want to thank our guests and thank you for joining me for another Chattin' with Chelsea. Let's keep the chat going. Follow us on our social media pages. Go to Chelsea Show Fox. Let us know, what do you think about submission? And is that something that works for your household? We want to hear from you. Use the hashtag Chattin' with Chelsea as well. And we will see you next time.